Welcome everyone to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. As you're making your way into the room, I'll give you a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. And your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, so don't worry about how you look. Just worry about all the great information that's going to be presented, and you can get comfortable. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions where you signed up for this one. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. I will now get out of the way since all the housekeeping info is out of the way, and I'll turn it over to our presenters. What I will show you first is the order of our presentations tonight. We're in this session here, A6, with my little highlighter showing that. The representative for Gettysburg College is not here yet, and so we will skip Gettysburg for now, and we will start with Lehigh University.
Great. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Jessica DeSantis, and I'm a Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Lehigh, as well as an alum of the university. I've been working with students from Colorado for 10 years now, so I'm always happy to connect any student who have questions to current students or alumni, as we have a great presence in the state of Colorado. Just some quick basics about Lehigh. First, we are located an hour north or so of Philadelphia and an hour and a half west of New York City, in a really great location. So you have the advantages of those major metro areas, mixed with, within 20 minutes, the Pocono Mountains where the Appalachian Trail runs. So you can really get out into the outdoors, as I know many Coloradans like to do. And yet you're not giving up the advantages of being in more of a metro area. We do have actually over 800,000 people in the Lehigh Valley and over 80,000 in the city of Bethlehem. So there's a lot that's happening out here, just in general. I just wanted to give you a moment to really see a little bit of what it's like on campus, as well as just so that you know that we do have 4 seasons here in Pennsylvania. So there are mountains, more like big hills to all of you, but at the same time, it creates, I think, a really beautiful landscape. So 4 equal seasons, something to keep in mind. One of the big differences coming out from Colorado would be certainly the humidity. And so that's something that I think takes a little bit of adjustment too. We do have minor league baseball team, minor league hockey and things like that. So a lot of different activities throughout the city of Bethlehem and the greater Lehigh Valley. And as you can see from campus, it's very park-like, with buildings relatively close to each other, but not too compact of a campus. And so it's very pedestrian friendly. We're trying to make sure that students can really access buildings and different opportunities just by foot. So with that, the university in general is a medium-sized school. We do have about 5,200 or so undergraduates and about 2,000 or so graduate students. And really the key part to us being a medium-sized school, I think, is the way it influences our academic opportunities, our student body, and the way we all interact with each other. And so really, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is create a problem-solving kind of culture. And so we want students to be able to come together and work in a very collaborative kind of environment, and to do so in a way that allows them to solve problems by considering lots of different perspectives. And so diversity is incredibly important to us, but it's so much more than just having different people coming to our campus. It's really also about inclusion. And I love right now, one of the things that we're really doing is doing several different anti-racist reviews of our policies, including our actual accredited police department that we have on campus as well. So really trying to make sure that all students have not just opportunities, but have equal support to be able to achieve and feel truly welcome and part of this community. So that's something that's really important to keep in mind. As I mentioned, we're all about problem solving. So we want to make sure that all of our students actually have opportunities to take classes in many different disciplines. And so while we do have majors in business, arts, social sciences, natural sciences, humanities, engineering, and our new College of Health, which has a population health degree, only the second in the country to have that, which is focusing more on public policy and healthcare analysis. So very math kind of intensive. It's really about understanding how the fields connect. So we have a great deal of interdisciplinary programs, and that's part of our identity, is making sure students can combine different fields together. You can see just from some of these photos how collaborative the institution really is and the learning is. This is not a place where students are memorizing information. It is where they're learning it, understanding it, and then applying it to real world situations to make sure that they, again, know how to solve problems. And they do so in a very collaborative environment. This is a place where students pursue all sorts of different kinds of interests inside and outside of the classroom. And so they are eager to learn, they're bright, they're driven, and yet at the same time, that doesn't make them studyaholics where that's all they're doing, bringing textbooks to basketball games and things. That's not the case. They are actively involved. Most of our students are involved in athletics in some way, shape, or form. And we do have Division I athletics within the Patriot League, so it places the emphasis on academics first. Love being part of the Patriot League. We have most of our students involved in service. I think that's part of that idea of problem solving and really making an impact on humanity. And then we have a very vibrant arts scene, arts, cultural, multicultural scene. And so we have everything from open auditions for theater and musical groups on our campus. We have one of my favorite traditions, the International Bazaar, each year in April, which is a celebration of the culture that we have on our campus. We have multicultural Greek organizations on our campus, and again, really trying to make sure that all students from all backgrounds have opportunities to succeed. So support offices for everyone. One of my favorite student organizations on campus is our FIRST organization, which allows students who are first generation to not only network with each other, but with faculty and staff who identify. They actually have formed a housing group, and we have a whole Office of Student Access and Success to ensure that these students have opportunities. So just something really important that I like to point out. Lots of traditions at Lehigh. We are part of the Lehigh-Lafayette rivalry, or as they call it, the Lafayette-Lehigh rivalry. Doesn't really roll off the tongue in the same way, in my opinion, but it is the most played college football rivalry in the country. And so we have Spirit Week, as you can see up here, with lots of different kinds of fun traditions. And so I'm happy to answer questions about that as we go. And then really at the end of the day, it's again that hands-on experience, trying to make sure that all of our students have opportunities to apply what they're learning. So internships, full-time placement, grad school advising, med school advising, all of that is part of the overall experience at Lehigh. I'll end it just with my contact information. So if you do have any further questions that you want to follow up through email, or if you want to be connected with any students or alumni, certainly you can let me know. We do have an event coming up as well that you'll get some information on with an alumni and current student panel. So certainly make sure you're on our mailing list.
Jessica, thank you very much. And we will continue. Again, if you have questions, you can use the Q&A button at any time to ask those. Just click there and put those in at any time you have them, and the presenters will see them. Next up, the representative from Muhlenberg College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Becca Larson. I am the Regional Director of Admissions for Muhlenberg College. I'm so excited to chat with you all today about Muhlenberg. We are a small liberal arts college located in Allentown, Pennsylvania, so we're also in the Lehigh Valley. Jessica did such a good job of kind of giving you situating you within the Lehigh Valley. The question I often get from students is, what airport do I fly into to get to Muhlenberg? And so most students will fly into Newark Airport or Philadelphia Airport. Both of those airports are about an hour and 10 minutes or so from campus. But we also have an airport in Allentown, which is just my favorite tiny airport, one terminal, 12 gates, one very friendly TSA officer. It's a great place to fly into. We are a small liberal arts college, and we enroll about 2,200 students total at Muhlenberg, and 91% of our students live on campus. So we're really facilitating a very strong living and learning environment, really strong residential community at Berg, and housing is guaranteed all 4 years. One thing that's really important, it goes hand in hand with the fact that most of our students live on campus, is that we've been consistently ranked as having some of the top college food in the nation. That's a big point of pride for us. The meals at Berg are delicious. The whoopie pies and all the baked goods in particular are some of my favorites. So You can see a bunch of different stats here on the slide, but I'm going to talk a little bit about our academics and kind of, what leads a student to come to a place like Muhlenberg. So at a small liberal arts college, we offer just about 40 or so different majors, but we have a lot of academic breadth within those majors. So we're a college that's known for our strong performing and visual arts programs. We have a top-ranked theater program that does include a concentration in musical theater, and we have dance as well. We also don't require students to audition for any of our artistic programs, but we do have auditions that make students eligible for talent-based grants. So, our programs are very strong, but there's not that audition kind of barrier for students, right? So we put on about 40 or so different productions in an academic year. 8 to 10 of those are main stage productions, and we have 3 different theater spaces on campus, and then another 40 or so productions are student-run one-act plays. And while our entire season is virtual right now, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on within our artistic programs. Outside of the arts, we have a ton of academic breadth. We have newer majors in public health and a brand new major in sustainability studies. We also have programs like business, accounting, economics, and finance, media and communications. And about a third of our students double major, while a third of our students pursue a major and a minor. So cross-disciplinary study is something that is very easy to do at Muhlenberg and something that we really support and encourage. We want our students to explore different areas of academic interest. We also send about 60% of our students abroad, which I know right now we're not even really dreaming of leaving our homes, let alone the country, but certainly we hope to get back to a place where students can incorporate global study into their learning. Our student faculty ratio is about 10 to 1, and our average classes, fewer than 20. Our classes are small and discussion based. We're known as a place where students really get a deep sense of faculty mentorship. We also have a ton of research opportunities for our students. One cool thing about the Lehigh Valley is that healthcare is actually one of the biggest industries. So Muhlenberg has partnerships with several hospitals for both clinical and research opportunities so that students can get some hands-on experience before they apply to medical school. And our medical school admit rate was about 87% of our pre-med students were admitted to a medical school in the US last year. We also have several academic partnerships. So we have a 3+4 program with the University of Pennsylvania College of Dentistry. We have a 3+3 program with Villanova Law, and we have 2 partnerships with one with Boston University School of Medicine, one with Temple University School of Medicine for those students interested in pursuing the pre-med track and going on to medical school. So that's another great partnership. Outside of academics, we have a really engaged student population, tons going on campus. We are Division III for athletics. Our football team made it to the Final Four last year in Division III championships. And while our season was canceled this year, we're ready for 2021. We know we're gonna have an even better season. We do have Greek life. We have, tons of different service opportunities for students. We have an entire office on campus that's dedicated to community engagement to really help students get to know the city of Allentown and get to know its community members as well. So lots of great student life opportunities happening at Muhlenberg. We also have a ton of club and intramural sports as well, and lots of performance-oriented clubs because we have a really strong culture of performance on campus. We're also known as the caring college. We're known as a place with a really deep sense of community. As you see behind me on my virtual background, I'm not on campus right now. We have, all of the doors on campus are red, and red is a Lutheran sign of welcoming. And I think that really speaks to the strong sense of community that we have on campus at Muhlenberg. In terms of our admission process, we are very holistic in our review process for students. We've been test optional since 1996. So before all the students in the space were born, we were already test optional. So we really, are very well equipped at getting to know students through the process. We're a school that really values demonstrated interest. So I encourage you, if Berg is on your list, to make sure you're registering for some of our virtual offerings, scheduling an interview, things like that. That's something that's really important to us. We automatically consider students for merit aid when they're applying for admission, even if they're test optional. And then if you're applying for need-based aid, we require only the FAFSA and then a short, quick Muhlenberg financial aid form as well. So I know that my time is about to run out, but I'm happy to answer any additional questions that you have. And I wish you a productive fall as you navigate the college application process. Thanks so much, friends.
Becca, thank you. We will continue now. And again, a reminder to all the attendees, if you have questions, use the Q&A button to ask them. Our presenters will see them and will answer them as they can. Next up now, representative from the University of the Arts. Sarah, you're still muted.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I'll start over. My name is Sarah Sarator, and I am the undergraduate admissions counselor here at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia. We are an art-centric university. We focus on dance, music, theater, creative writing, and then all of the visual arts. As you can see here, we also have creative writing, animation, illustration, vocal performance, music business, dance, musical theater, and the list goes on and on. If you want to learn about a specific program, you can head over to uarts.edu/programs to check out what we offer and learn about all of our different classroom environments. I want to start off just by telling you a little bit about some of our alumni. This is Gianna. She came from a small town in New Jersey and went to a small high school. And this is Udi, who came from the big city of Los Angeles, California. Gianna was passionate about photography and Udi had a love for dance. However, both coming from different backgrounds chose UArts as a place to hone their skills. In 2013, Gianna received her BFA from photography from UArts and went on to work as a photographer for Urban Outfitters. She's now worked her way up to being the art director for the women's department at Urban, which is actually headquartered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 2016, Udi graduated from the School of Dance, and within the first years has already started dancing with Beyonce and has been featured in a number of her music videos. From finding a passion to studying intensely at UArts to landing jobs in their field shortly after graduation, both of these alumni followed a pretty defined path and are continuing to grow as professional artists with the skills that they learned at University of the Arts. However, you don't always have to be that straightforward. This is Amberella, for example. She got her BFA in photography from UArts as well, just like Gianna, but she used her electives as an opportunity to experiment. In one of her classes, she learned how to wheat paste and fell in love with the medium. She's now actually a prominent street artist who has work that can be found across Philadelphia and the entire West Coast. And she's also created work for companies like Live Nation and Doc Martens. So she really utilized the ability to cross different disciplines and explore different options. When your passion is in the arts, we believe that you can be whatever you want to be and you should be. So the second someone tries to put you in a box, it really stifles your creativity. So if you come to UArts interested in music, you can also paint. If you come in interested in dance, you could take a glass blowing class. We really want you to explore everything that will enhance your creativity. That's what matters the most to us. If you want to be X, Y, or Z, you can do that. You can study across traditional boundaries, collaborate with other artists. We have photographers that need models, and we have theater and dance students that need headshots. We have film students that might need scores for their pieces, and we have an entire school of music with composition majors that can do that. So you're going to graduate from UArts really honed in on your own skills, but also with a network of other artists through different disciplines that are there to support you. We are proud to call Philadelphia our home as well. Philadelphia is an art-centric city full of opportunities and was recently rated one of the top cities for creatives by Thrillist. Philly offers tons of performance spaces for artists. We are right in Center City in Philadelphia, next to the Academy of Music, the Merriam Theater, the Wilma Theater. There's also museums, parks, and restaurants, and is an easily commutable city too if you're interested in spending any time in New York City or the DC, Baltimore area as well. UArts campus is right in the heart of it all. So our inclusive campus offers a variety of on-campus clubs, organizations, and events to all majors. We have different programs and partnerships that give you an opportunity to get involved with the city as well. For example, our students might be a part of Ladies of Service, which allow you to give back to the community. And we're also part of the Mural Arts program, which is the nation's largest public art program, which has produced over 3,600 murals in Philadelphia. Our 4 apartment-style residence halls make it very easy to find things to do on campus and around Philly. We also do have 3 dining halls available for our students, an all-day one, a late night, and a grab-and-go. However, Philadelphia is a foodie city. You have access to Reading Terminal Market and all kinds of food everywhere you go. If you're interested in exploring our campus, you can go to uarts.edu/virtual tour and take a fun virtual tour with us to see more. And you can find all the information that you need to apply at uarts.edu/admissions. It's 4 easy steps. You submit your online application, request your high school transcripts, submit a writing sample, and then complete either your portfolio review or your interview or your audition, depending on what program. We are also test optional. We have no minimum GPA. And if you would like any more information, you can contact me. There's my contact information right below. Thank you for letting me share with you, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, Sarah. I will share the schedule one more time. Again, for any of our attendees, use the Q&A button to ask questions, and we will move on now to the representative from Ursinus College.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Russ, and good evening to everyone in attendance. My name is Sam Carter, Associate Director of Admission at Ursinus, and my time with you this evening is unfortunately short, so we're going to dive right into it. So Ursinus College is a small Division III liberal arts school. We have about 1,500 students coming to us from 31 states, as well as the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and 22 countries across the globe. We ourselves are located in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. So we're a suburb of Philadelphia. We are about 40 minutes outside of the city. And so while our students do have access to everything that the wonderful city has to offer, you are able to leave and slow things down a little bit on our very traditional residential liberal arts campus. We're extremely proud to be one of 44 colleges that change lives. And CTCL as an organization is dedicated to the advancement and support of what we like to call a student-centered college search process. CTCL was founded on a philosophy of building knowledge, building character, and building the values of young people by introducing them to personalized but also a transformative collegiate experience. And we are extremely proud to be a member of that organization. We are one of 10% of schools nationwide to boast a chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, which is a nationwide honor society. And our students have gone on to garner Watson Fellowships, Fulbright Scholarships, and even we have a Rhodes Scholar among our alum ranks. We are small, 1,500 total students on campus, so our student to faculty ratio is also small, coming in at 10:1. We have an average class size of 15 across 60 different courses of study. You can see some of our most popular majors right here. Biology, applied economics is our business program, psychology, health and exercise physiology, and then neuroscience is tied with media and communication studies. So you can see that for a liberal arts school, we definitely are a little bit heavy in the sciences, and indeed we do have a very fantastic reputation for our strong science programs. When students come into Ursinus, you will come in undeclared. You just simply apply to the college. You are not applying into any specific program. And we do that very intentionally to allow our students to explore, find their passions, find out what really speaks to them, and then they're able to declare a major at that point. When you come in, you will be part of our cohort advising program. We'll match you up with a group of 8 to 10 other first-year incoming students who are required to meet 1 time per week as a group. That ensures you get that instruction from a faculty member, but it also ensures that you have a social network right from day one on our campus to help you transition from high school into college. We have all of our students enter into that first year of the Ursinus core curriculum, what we call the Ursinus Quest, where you explore our 4 questions. The 4 questions are listed right here, but these are all designed to get our students thinking on a deeper level. You'll go through our common intellectual experience, where you'll grapple with these questions in a very reading and writing intensive 2-semester seminar. Every student on campus goes through the common intellectual experience, and in that way, we are able to have our entire campus speak a common language then moving forward. We also emphasize getting out of the classroom and applying what you are learning to the world around you through our experiential learning project. 100% of our students will complete this XLP requirement, with internships, study abroad, and research being the 3 most important ways that students are going to do that on our campus. Outside of the classroom, we have over 100 different clubs and organizations. You name it, we pretty much have it already, but because of our small size, you are able to get a club or organization started up with just you and a few friends who are then eligible for funding. We do have 3 interdisciplinary centers on campus, which allows our students to kind of engage with what they're learning in the classroom outside in a very formal way. So we have the Parley Center for Science and the Common Good, where students who are interested in science are able to take that research and apply it to better the world around them. The You Imagine Center for Integrative and Entrepreneurial Studies will teach students coming from any background to view the world, to approach their problems and looking at it through an entrepreneurial lens. Then the Melrose Center for Global and Civic Engagement are for those students who are focused on the bigger picture and are looking to make a tangible difference in their communities, in the world around them. So it's a very, very quick high-level overview on just some of the things that Ursinus is able to offer. We do have our application live right now. You can see our application deadlines are right here: early action, early decision, regular decision. All those are available without any type of application fee through the Common or Coalition app. Once you are admitted, you'll then go through our financial aid process. So 99% of our students are getting some type of financial assistance. Need-based aid is entirely done through the FAFSA. We do not need a CSS profile. That FAFSA opens up on October 1st. Our merit scholarships will range between $21,000 up to $40,000. Students are automatically qualifying for any of the scholarships that you see here, so you do not need to do any type of outside application for these scholarships. You can see we have our Zacharias Honor Scholarship at $40,000 per year. The Gateway Scholarship is available for students who have a 3.85 GPA or above, or for students who have an SAT score of a 1250 or an ACT score of a 28. You know that you will automatically qualify for that Gateway Scholarship. The Reverend Rice Memorial Scholarship is reserved for students who have meaningfully impacted issues of diversity in their own communities. We're hoping they bring that same passion and impact with them to the Ursinus community. And then you can see our Ursinus scholarships ranging from $21,000 up to $30,000 per year. We are test optional. You do not need test scores to get any of these scholarships. Outside of the merit scholarships, we do have a number of specialty scholarships. These are all broken down by interest and will require an outside application. So I always tell students, once you submit your application to Ursinus, this is definitely going to be your next step. But students who are interested in social justice are able to do so through the Social Justice Scholars, You Lead Scholars, You Imagine Ambassadors. And I see my time is running short. Russ, thank you so much. So I'd invite students to go on our website, check out all of the host of ways that they're able to interact with us moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. And we will continue now and hear from the representative from Villanova University.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Ronay. I serve as in the admission office for students from Colorado in the admission process. Happy to be sharing with you tonight about Villanova. Like the other colleagues, we very much encourage you to attend our virtual events or interact more with us and join our mailing list. Let's talk about Villanova. This photograph shows campus pretty well. I didn't start the video, I'm sorry. So this video shows campus pretty well. We are a residential traditional environment. In our case, we're also a medium-sized school like others that have presented tonight. In our case, being about 6,500 students. To showcase campus, we're about 10 miles west of downtown Philadelphia. So I say, to put it in local terms, with Denver area, we're kind of situated with what DU is to downtown Denver. Villanova is about that to Philadelphia. And we have 3 different train stops on campus, so very much a school that allows that urban access, really about 30 minutes or so but yet has a very defined campus. Also, the fact that most of our students live on campus for 3 years, if not 4 years, just creates a very close-knit community, similar again to many of the other schools that have gone before me and presented. Particularly for first-year students, they all live in South Campus, so I think it's nice that you have your own micro community in the larger landscape, which just helps you get acclimatized and transition all the easier, in my opinion. And then to speak about our structure as a school and our philosophy, Villanova is the nation's one and only Catholic Augustinian institution. So again, to provide a local reference point, I stay with Regis there in Denver, their Jesuit philosophy, but you still see a lot of commonality when it comes to fostering a pluralistic environment, having that concept of learning through and with one's peers, and then also that outlook towards the common good and engagement in community service. The structure of our 4 colleges you have there are College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Business, Engineering, and Nursing. Know that you as a student would have to apply distinctly to one of those 4 colleges, and in some cases select a particular major. All of these will be, or I should say, mostly in the case of arts and science, you'll have pre-professional tracks that are conducive for pre-law, pre-medicine, pre-veterinary studies, etc. When it comes to the structure, double majoring across colleges is not something that we allow, but that can be alleviated as a student can pursue minors in other colleges. Study abroad is something that can be facilitated within each major at Villanova, as about 40% of our students take part in study abroad, and most often during their junior year. Be mindful too when choosing a abroad location that some of those may entail internship components, research, or be language intensive, something to be mindful of that can of course add further attributes and features to your own area of study. Then when it comes to research, that's also something very widely undertaken throughout the university, particularly within our engineering college and our College of Arts and Sciences. Students are able to take part in that within their majors in junior, senior year, but also Villanova facilitates a program in your first year called the First Year Research Program, where students can complete 10 hours of research each week away. Doesn't have to be within, again, your major, just pick a project that interests you that'll be happening on campus that spring. Then with our student body, of course, we'll have, I should say, go back with us being a medium-sized school, you'll have an average class size of 23 students. So similar to the other colleges today, that relationship between teacher and student is very paramount, and fostering a collaborative learning environment amongst your college and within a particular department. And so while you have that academic community that forms, there's then also the student life side of things and the strong shared social identity we have as an institution. A lot of that for us is grounded in the community service and athletic side of things, but then you also have the different clubs and organizations that students will pitch in on. So in community service, we have 2 main events as a school. Many of our varsity sports participate on campus, so a lot of action and again, consistent activity there at the school. Some different outcomes and statistics. Speaking of Colorado, we do have about 20 students in our incoming class each year, give or take. And we also have an active alumni group there in the state that traditionally hosts an event for admitted students and those that are enrolling as well. Also, with our alumni network, very much concentrated there in the Mid-Atlantic, and like the other schools, taking advantage of that region that spans from New York City to DC, but also, of course, beyond as well. In our application process, these are some quick notes, as we are a common application school, exclusively utilizing that, and we're also test optional this year. Different time periods which to apply. I know someone's asked through the chat, what is tuition at all the schools? I'd say again, for some of the schools, I don't know all of them as well. We are probably about a little over 50,000 each year, maybe around 55,000 each year, but know that we do provide financial aid like the other schools. So in most cases, no one is paying that full cost of attendance. That is achieved through the FAFSA form, which all schools utilize, or nearly all schools. And then we also require the CSS profile. Ultimately, I know my time is soon running out, so please do connect with us online. Again, my name is Patrick Arnay, and I'm happy to serve as your point of contact in the application process and answer any questions you might have. But with that said, I will turn it back over to Russ. So thank you everyone for attending.
Patrick, thank you. We do have a couple extra minutes here since we were 1 school short of 6 and we had 5 institutions. So if anyone has any questions that they want to put in the Q&A box, that's more general college questions that any or all of the reps can talk about a little bit here and there, please do so. And if And if we get some questions like that, each of our reps can maybe come back with the video and audio, and we can talk a little bit. As Patrick noted, there was a question about tuition for each school. I don't know if each presenter mentioned it, but most of that, I believe, can be found on each of the institution websites as well. But if you have other questions on the Q&A, you can drop them in as attendees. I will also take the time now to go ahead and thank you for joining us. Get through some of the housekeeping at the end here. And when you close the window, when you leave this session, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, it's a reminder that this is just one of many sessions hosted. So make sure you sign up for additional sessions at the same place you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings. So if there's something you missed, you want to come back and see some of the info that you learned here, you'll be able to do that in about a week. Again, the same website where you signed up for this session. I don't believe we have any further questions, so I want to thank again everyone for joining us. Thanks to the presenters for all of the great information, and have a great rest of your evening.